Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now.
You have me emotionally hostage.
You take a sick child who will suffer for the rest of his life to weaponize against me? Don't you dare!
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Listen, I told y'all last week that Tuesday might be becoming one of my favorite nights of the week, and it still looks like that because the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City are doing their thing, you guys. They are coming so good with this new season, which is season 4. So let's talk about the new episode, which is episode 3. Okay, so it's a new day, bright morning, and it's day 2 of the Palm Springs trip. We see all the ladies waking up. Meredith texted them all to wear the t-shirts that she gifted them. Now remember, Angie K didn't get one because she wasn't invited, so she is so thirsty. She went and made her own shirt. Then Lisa goes over to Whitney's room, two of the most insufferable women in this show, and they're talking about Meredith, about what happened last night. Whitney is trying to find a way to spin the whole argument and put the blame on Meredith, and says that she's ready to take over this trip. And it's really disappointing to see Lisa engage in that, since supposedly her and Meredith are trying to be in a better place. Also, Monica goes to see Meredith, and Meredith is thanking her for standing up for her at the dinner last night. And Monica says, listen, Angie is my friend, but the things that she was saying to you were not cool. She's putting me in an uncomfortable situation, and I just don't condone what she was saying. So then the girls meet outside, and they're getting ready to leave, and Lord and behold, Angie gets there with her ugly shirt. In her confessional, Angie says, I can be petty too. It was either doing this t-shirt or calling a hit out in Meredith's family. And I was like, what the hell? Why would you say that? Even if that was a joke, that's not funny. Like, that, you don't say that. But anyway, they get going and they get on the Sprinter. They arrive at a park and they have a bunch of little games set up. And essentially they are trust exercises to get them, closer together. But as they're getting down, Mary tells Meredith that she doesn't want to get down because it's semi-raining. And to be honest, she's not really ready to do these type of things with some of the people in the group. So at the trust game, some of them get blindfolded. They pair up and the other one guides them on what to do to get to the finish line. And I guess that helps build some trust. Heather and Angie actually kind of got along because they were paired up. Whitney and Meredith ended up winning. And after that, they get back to the Sprinter to get going. And as they're in the ride, they're catching Mary up on what they did. And Meredith tells Mary, I do wish you would have participated since it was about building trust. And Mary says, did I not tell you why I didn't want to do it? And then Lisa jumps in, and Mary says, I'm not talking to you. Do you have a mute button? And Lisa, she's like, no. And then she's trying to, also talk to Mary about why she didn't go. And then little girl Whitney jumps in as well and says, well, we wanted you there. And Mary doesn't want to hear it. And she says, do y'all not understand? I don't want to do certain things with some of the people in this group. And she says, why can't y'all comprehend that? And Whitney says, well, why would you even come to this trip then? And listen, I do get both sides. I'm sure it's annoying for them seeing that Mary doesn't want to participate. But who wants to participate with someone like Whitney? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so then the girls go and have some lunch. Someone asks what they're doing later that night. And Whitney has the nerve to say that she's taking over and that she has an activity planned. Keep in mind, she's not the host of this trip, and she didn't even run it by the host. So rude and disrespectful. So she says that they're going to dress up as drag queens. So they have to take their makeup off, do their own makeup, and dress up and, compete to see who dresses up the better, so cancel your glam. So they leave to get started on that, but Lisa Barlow is having a hissy fit about not being able to have her glam help her because she brought her own glam to this trip. And you guys, this was serious. She started calling in production. She started crying, losing her damn mind because she didn't want anyone else doing something to her makeup. Listen, I don't know anything about this glam stuff, but if you're crying over this, you got the wrong priorities in life. I'm just saying. I mean, how ugly can you be that you don't want people to see your face? Okay, but now keep in mind, everyone can hear her. Anyway, all the other girls were having their fun. Even Mary was, getting dressed up and stuff like that. And then they do some sort of little fashion show of the outfits that they came up with. The ones who actually dressed a little bit more like drags were Whitney, Monica, Heather, and Angie, kind of. And the one who wins is actually Monica. I was like, okay, the newbie is coming in hot. And she got the crown. Then they head over to have some dinner, and my, it was the most awkward dinner. There was this weird silence going on. It was like you had Monica, Angie, and Whitney, and Heather, which was kind of like over there too. And they were being a little bit more goofy and loud, but then you had Meredith, Lisa, and Mary, who were just like quiet as a church mouse. They were not too excited. And Monica says to Whitney and Angie, to be honest, I think Lisa is extremely insecure and boring for not wanting to, participate. She's being a wet noodle. So then after that, the women get back on the van because they want to have some fun, go to a nice little club. And they again get onto the Sprinter. And as they're there, Lisa says, what were y'all talking about? I just heard something about wet noodles. And Monica says, well, you were not dressed in drag like you were supposed to. And Lisa says, well, I have on Valentino and couture, trying to flex, I guess. And Meredith actually jumped in and she actually defended Lisa and says, well, we can all dress up however we want. And then Monica once again tells Lisa that she thinks Lisa is a little tone deaf. She gets emotional and says, I don't think you understand how the majority of America lives their day-to-day lives. And that's okay, but the ring thing, having to hear about it over and over again did bother me. Like, be grateful that you have a healthy family, you're wealthy, which, is it true? Yes. But is Monica maybe projecting a little bit? I don't know. How do y'all feel about that? Let me know. But Lisa claps back and says, I'm not going to apologize about anything that has to do with my life, which she doesn't have to. And she says she's a hard worker. And she says, I feel sorry for what you're going through. And Monica says, no, you don't. You don't give a F about me and what I'm going to. And they start arguing to the point that Monica starts to cuss her out in Portuguese, which I found that hilarious. And then Angie jumps in to defend Lisa and says, stop it, Monica. You're being hypocritical. And Monica says, I can't listen. Your little dog is barking at me. It was a mess. And then the ladies get down, and once again, Mary decides not to get down. I mean, really, Mary? Come on now. Why'd you even go into the Sprinter if you're just going to stay and wait for them? So in this little club thing that they went to, Lisa's still arguing with Monica, and she says, I can relate to middle-class America. I mean, really, Lisa, that's not true. But in the meantime, somewhere over there, Whitney and the other girls are talking. And Whitney is also bringing up to Meredith that she wished that they would have dressed up a little bit more. And Meredith says, well, you know what? We are two very different people. I don't have to copy you. And Whitney says, well, if this had been the trip that I planned, I would have done this, this, and this. And Meredith says, well, you didn't plan this trip. And I've had a headache. I don't want to put a 45-pound wig on my head. And y'all, Whitney is such a she-devil. I mean, she says, oh, so today it was a headache. Yesterday it was something about a 3-year-old child going through something. But it's the way she said in a sarcastic tone, as if Meredith were lying about what she's been saying. And that's where Meredith loses it. She says, don't go there. She says, you're going to take a sick child who will suffer for the rest of their life, and you're going to weaponize that against me? You are disgusting. And Meredith walks away. She's better than most people, because that comment made by Whitney would have landed her with a slap, with a beat down, okay? But then they all go to, I guess, like another area, and they're all together, and Whitney is still bothering Meredith. She's such a little gnat. And Meredith says, I'm not interested in talking to you or your pit bull who's been coming along on this trip, referring to Angie. And Angie hears that, and then she does just that. She acts like a damn pit bull. She's all over Meredith, and did you just call me a pit bull? Being all gangster. And Meredith says, get away from me. And Angie says, you look like a trampoline with eyes. I mean, these women are just so nasty. And there's so much commotion with all the girls. And Monica says, well, did I not tell y'all in the van that Angie was Lisa's little bitch? And Angie also hears that and goes and all up on Monica's face with the fingers and getting all close. And Monica says, don't you come up in my face acting all Jen Shah. And Angie says, well, don't, Jen Shah, you're the one that worked for her. It was a big fight. And then, guys, the fact that Jen Shah is still like in the atmosphere is crazy to me. But Monica was like, well, you know what, at the end of the day, she didn't pay me, so I wasn't really working for her. Let's talk about the people that you don't pay. In her confessional, Monica says at the end of the day, they were all Jen Shah's assistants because they were all running favors and errands for her, which I definitely believe that. It was a fight, you guys. It was a mess. Meanwhile, Mary Cosby went to the McDonald's drive-thru. So in that sense, I don't blame her. But they get back to the Sprinter, and that was it for this trip, you guys. Wow, I'm speechless. This was definitely something. I'm telling y'all, the Salt Lake City girls are coming in hot this season, and they are delivering every episode. I mean, from the beginning to the end. So it looks like this rivalry between Monica and Lisa, this is just the beginning, and we're gonna get to see more of that next episode. She's gonna reveal some things. This is gonna get ugly, I'm sure. But yeah, you guys, Angie, Whitney, Lisa, on my nerves this episode. They were being so rude to Meredith. I feel so bad for her. Her fun girls trip that she had planned turned into an absolute disaster by a little girl who doesn't know boundaries and a girl who goes to uninvited events. No manners from these people. But anyway, you guys, let me know what were your thoughts and opinions about this. What were your thoughts specifically on the Monica and Lisa argument and also on the Whitney and Meredith argument? So let me know, you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time. You have a great one. Bye.